Hei alle sammen her på Tromsø bibliotek. Velkommen til årets første utgave av Filmprat fra filmfestivalen i Tromsø. Mitt navn er Karsten Meinik, og jeg er redaktør for filmtidsskriftet Montages, og har den store gleden da av å holde i denne stafettpinnen med tradisjonen for møter med filmskapere på filmfestivalen i Tromsø. Og i årets første utgave så skal vi møte en italiensk regissør. Hun snakker veldig bra engelsk, så vi skal bytte fra norsk over til engelsk. I'm changing to English.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome to Film Talks, Carolina Cavalli.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to Tromsø.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, guys.
At the screening of your film yesterday at Verdensteatret, the old cinema here, you told us that you'd never been as far north as this before. So welcome to the north.
Thank you.
And your film is called Amanda. And it's your first feature film as a director.
My debut feature, yeah.
So we are really happy that you bring your first film here to Tromsø. And it was such a great atmosphere at the screening yesterday. So, but for some of the audience members that might be following this talk, we should describe the film a little bit before we dive into it.
Sure.
And I promise you I will try
Yes, please.
So Amanda is a film about the main character called Amanda, so that's the easy part.
Yes.
And it's a young girl who, quite obviously from the beginning of the film, is in some sort of question in regards to her identity, in her family, in her social life, which is kind of non-existent social life. She searches for some sort of connection, I feel, with other people. And she finds connections. And the film portrays her sort of journey into a real friendship, into searching for what it would mean to have like a boyfriend. And kind of there's this dark shadow of her family and how they function in her life. Mm-hmm. The opening scene is from her childhood at the pool. It's very evocative. And then we meet her as a 25-year-old young woman. So Amanda is sort of like an enigma as a character. I feel that watching her, I can at any time feel insecure about what she's going to do. She's a bit unpredictable, but quite easy to relate to, I feel. So if we could start with Amanda, the main character. Where did she come from? I know you have also been writing scripts for other filmmakers and now you make your own. So could you talk us a little bit into where she came from?
Sure. Yeah, indeed I started to write the film starting from the character, starting from Amanda. And it's something, of course, when you write by yourself, it's something you can do. You can just like focus on the part that probably excites you the most. In my case, it was the main character, indeed. And so when you think about her, because it's Amanda in my case, you get to a point in which you feel you know her so well that you know what she needs and what she's going to do, basically, and how she's going to move and what she's going to decide on. And this is very, after it's very easy to write a plot because you know her and you know what she's going to look for. And in her case, it was time for her to look for a friend. So in a way, it's easier because the character kind of moves from herself. Like she moves and she creates a plot. So that was my starting point, the main character. And then probably when I think about Amanda, for sure is someone I would get along with probably, and is someone that sometimes I wish I was, sometimes, like sometimes no. But as you said, she's very unpredictable, but she has a very strict logic. Like she follows a very strict logic. It's her logic. Like sometimes she tends not to adapt to reality, but try to adapt reality to herself, which could be a problem when you're 25. Maybe it's easier when you're 8, but not even. But when you're 25, it's really complex. And so I started from there. And also I realized probably I was thinking about younger heroes of my childhood. I don't know, Pippi Longstocking, but they're much younger, and I was wondering what's going to happen to them when they grow up. Are they going to change completely, or there is going to be? So I imagine her being one of them, just a bit older.
That's interesting. No, but it's very interesting to see that we are also ourselves, when we look at our own childhood and youth and adulthood, it's hard to see that we change. Inside, we don't feel like when you turn 30 or when you turn 40, people are like, oh, now you're in a new age, and inside and inside of our heads, we're still that same person. And it's kind of interesting how you succeed to bring that into a film, because even though film can be very subjective and we can sort of dive into characters and stories, it's still a separation between audience and the screen that the filmmaker have to create some sort of bond. And I think that the casting here, the faces, the places, there's a lot of choices you make in the visual style that actually create that bridge for us. But it's not so easy to know. Like when you write the character, you also have to, at some point, write the imagery of the film. What was that transition for you when it was your first film, like to start thinking, okay, these are the places that she inhabit? And can you talk a little bit about how you found that style?
Sure. Well, of course, before directing this film, I was a screenwriter for a few years. So for me, the only thing I was working with was me and my words and my imagination. Then you have to go into reality, and it's a bit traumatizing in a way, because of course, like, you see that, well, at the beginning I thought reality was kind of a limit in everything, but also in the process of filmmaking. But no, I realized actually that it helped, like, these limitations became a strength, because it obliges you to see alternatives and go further than what you imagined. And so for me it was always I always imagine the things I write, and then I knew, for example, the area I chose, which is Torino, it's northern Italy, reflected a lot this kind of feeling, because it's never clear where we are. It's like there's no geographical realism. It's just like a place that could be anywhere or nowhere. It's a known place, basically. And Torino is very interesting because it's a pastiche of different landscapes, or at least is how I see it. And there is a lot of emptiness in Amanda, which was something that makes me think about concept a lot. Like if a place was a concept, I would say it would be very empty and still, with few elements, and that what I followed like more an idea than a realism.
But that is I really felt like I experienced this from the film.
Okay, great.
But the landscapes, and many of you who have seen it, you know what I talk about, that the buildings and the landscapes and the spaces that she are in can also be the inner landscapes. But they are not necessarily that we have to be, it's not totally Tarkovsky either. No. It's quite...
I wish.
You can make many more films.
Yeah. I'll try.
But there is a small connection there to how you are willing to kind of write your imagery as they would kind of reflect the character's psychology. And to me, Italy and cities in Italy, I think about bustling places, lots of people, sounds, and in this film, it's like not that Italy. I've never been to Turin, actually, so like choices in brutalist architecture for some of the villas, and then her home with the pool, it's more like a classic sort of. Did you know a lot of these places when you wrote the film, or was it like the script is finished, we're making the film, we have a budget, now we have to find the locations? Like, was there some sort of practical connection to how you ended up choosing these places as well?
No, the script was finished. The only thing that helped me a lot in writing was working with the composer, Nicola Contessa. He was composing while I was writing, and this I felt helped me a lot. Then, of course, soundtrack changed, but that was, it was something. It was there from the beginning. Well, location, no. I respect a lot the script. Like I coming probably from screenwriting, so I was trying to find to put reality in the script instead of like Amanda, maybe to put to adapt reality to the. But I was really trying for that, and for example the houses, I knew I knew I feeling I wanted, for example, the Brutalist House. I wanted something that was not finished yet, but already used, kind of like already consumed by time. And it was something that we went location scouting for so long. The house of Amanda, which is more classical, at the same time, like we worked a lot with the lights. There are these lights that are very warm, but they don't heat anything. If you see, like it's quite somber anywhere, and so. Yeah, locations were very important. Or I don't know, there is a part that looks a lot like Midwest America with this like it's infinite. Like you cannot see an end, you cannot see the beginning. It's kind of a empty playground in which like you can invent anything. And Amanda tries to find things to do, tries to have an adventure all the time, have a mission all the time, even if it's a horse, a fan, you know. Like
I was just thinking about the horse.
Yeah.
You said Midwestern America, and it's something about movie landscapes as well that you seem to create a film for us that, I don't know, here in Tromsø, maybe someone sees in the program, oh, an Italian film called Amanda. We have this image of what an Italian film is, and we look at some pictures and we go into it. And then the film that comes back is both an Italian film, but it also has this thing that you describe now that is not very easy to pinpoint. And suddenly it's almost like walking into a Western movie when the horse is there at an empty spot and
she
the
does
horse.
like that.
Yeah. So it's playful and it's fun.
Same.
And watching your movie is quite unpredictable and exciting. It's both a comedy and sort of like a psychological drama in terms of genre. I felt in the room yesterday there was a lot of laughter, but there was also
I'm happy because I wasn't there. I'm happy they laughed.
But it was quite moments that the film invites us to think. I mean, there's serious themes in discussion here, but also kind of puzzling, returning to Amanda the character. We don't really know where she's going.
Sure.
And I guess we have to talk a little bit about your main actress here. She's really great in the film. Her name is Benedetta Porcaroli.
Yes.
And some people might know her from the Netflix show Baby.
Yes.
And I saw her in a few festival films as well. So she seems to be an up-and-coming, very interesting actor. Could you talk about what you felt she brought to the film when you chose her for Amanda?
Well, she's going to be shooting star in Berlinale.
Okay,
yes.
great.
So yeah, she's really, well, her career, of course, like she was already established, even if she's just 24. For me, we had a very long casting process. We had like 60, 70 audition because for me, Amanda was the film and she's in every frame of the film. And I was lucky because the actress that I felt understood the character as I understood the character was also a very good actress. But the priority for me it was to have a good and a common understanding of even nuances that you cannot really explain talking. You see them, like when you have an audition, like you see if there is or there is not. And she had it, and I don't know if it's related to the fact that she is a good actress. So but at the same time, it was very important. We prepared the character together. We had a rehearsal before, and then we trusted each other, which was something also very important, I guess. And being a first-time director, it was. I'm very grateful that departments and actors trusted me because you shouldn't take it for granted, right?
What is the rule that you have to fire someone on the first day to get the respect? Is that the tradition in Italy?
I was very far from that.
but it seems from your personality and from the tone of the film, it seems like there's this very trustful environment anyway. And I think like the main actress, her face is also almost like a landscape. You know, she's very beautiful, but she has this strange way to kind of express something that you're not allowed into, that there's this secret to her kind of, and I think that is a cinematic quality. People can be great actresses or actors, but she's also a great film face. And I told you just before we started that this actress could also be a great silent film actress.
Yeah.
Like if she was born 100 years before, she would probably be, you know, in great comedies with Charlie Chaplin. Who knows? She has this, and also her character, like how she runs and everything. So, So, did you make any discoveries on the set that you weren't aware of? Like you chose her, but then maybe you shoot the scene and she starts running, and you're like, "Whoa, she runs in a great way. Let's capture that."
yes, there's always a surprise, of course, like shooting. I don't like improv very much because I'm a very anxious
No.
person.
You like to have plans
So
for everything.
I like to plan very well.
Okay.
And then, of course, like there are already so many things that can happen that I tend to be very prepared, at least like, you know, after you can embrace what like accidents or like little thing that happen on like for example there was a squirrel running after in the frame. Did you see
squirrel?
it? A squirrel.
No, I didn't
No,
see
you
it.
didn't
No.
see it. We were very lucky.
I have
There
to
was
watch
this
it
squirrel.
again then.
Yeah, maybe there was this squirrel running at a certain point that was amazing. It just runs and then stops exactly where he should have stopped and then run away again. But no, apart from the squirrel, there are so many things that happen that I really like to stick to the script. But for sure, like. To work with such a confident, like an actress that is so confident, it's very beautiful because you see things that you maybe didn't expect, you didn't imagine this way, and of course, it's a great surprise every time. And also, this tone was very difficult to maintain for the whole film. It's a very peculiar tone, and you have to believe a lot in what you're saying because, okay, it's fun, but it's not like you shouldn't be thinking, okay, it's fun. You know what I mean?
It's
like
true.
yeah.
I was thinking at the beginning of the film where you, at some point, quite early, she references all these type of guys she approached at the Cinematheque in Paris because she's been living in Paris
Yeah, she moved.
and the style and the way you introduce that quite early in the film, I notice, okay, so there's some ideas here going on. I can't always trust like, and suddenly there's a montage and then there's a little, So I guess that's a good way to start it off. I just wanted also to say to the people here that if anyone wants to ask a question to Carolina while we talk, you just raise your hand. I don't know who have seen the film, but I feel there's something serious about the film that I want to ask you about, that the theme of, I guess, mental health in a way has been very much discussed, I guess, in all countries after the pandemic, but it also makes us think about what we see in movies a little bit differently because this incredible period of a lot of tragedy, but also of lives that just were put on pause during the pandemic in every country, most countries at least. Sure. It has introduced a new sort of way to read people we see. Like you see someone go off on their own, you see some place where there used to be a lot of people, now not so many people.
Yeah.
This festival is known for all these bustling crowds going in and out of cinemas. For 2 years, it's been very quiet editions, digital editions. You're not allowed to sit next to someone. So watching Amanda, your film in 2023, it's impossible not to read it into how, especially a lot of young people have been kind of putting their lives on pause. Has this in any way kind of informed this storytelling, or was everything planned before the pandemic? Can you see a relation to the modern psychology and issues for young people into your character?
Yeah, I wrote it before.
Yeah.
Not predicting it, of course, but yeah, I feel also the loneliness is something that, of course, we realize it's in the past 3 years. We clearly realized that it was it's becoming a mental issue, and but it's in general a human condition that we all suffered, probably our generation and previous generations. I've never been part of another generation, but my generation for sure, yes, we have this. I mean, I see it around me, and it's not just like to find people to connect with, but also to be able to connect with. And then it's also a matter probably of isolation, like to feel you're always out of place. It's pandemic didn't help with this at all, I guess. And Rebecca, who's the other character who keeps herself locked in the room, of course, this is like something that is becoming very popular in Europe as well. I think it's even more popular in Asia, but now Italy has this problem and everywhere. And the thing is always, what I heard is that you're not scared of failing at life, but to be seen failing. And it's interesting for me because in a way, how do you fail life? Like when you're dead, you're game over. Probably that's the failure. But you cannot really fail at life unless your expectations, you fail your own expectations. But why we have probably we have the wrong expectation if we're able to fail them, because it's just like we're human, no? You have and so I feel probably. Yeah, the condition of Amanda looking for a friend is just like to find the friend, like the person that makes you feel less alone in this world, and it's like a bit of the imaginary friend, the ideal friend that is gonna destroy this feeling of loneliness and of being isolated and being out of place. I don't know even if it exists, this kind of friend, unless you don't find it in yourself, you know. But yeah. Also there are environments that don't help this, I guess, right now. So
no, it's very true, and I thank you for that answer. I mean, it's really something I feel your film is about this, but it doesn't say it right out.
No.
So we have to kind of find some of the themes through connecting to your film, and this invites for us to sort of take that step into the film.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of brave of you as a filmmaker to in large parts of the film, you are kind of letting the character move without explanations.
Sure.
And that feels, probably it's in your storytelling and the way you like to tell the stories, but then you really have to have that connection for us to go. And I think your film really has it.
Oh, thanks.
But it would be very easy for a filmmaker not as brave to kind of explain more. Did you feel that kind of confidence all the way through, or was there some points when you were making the film that you felt, oh, maybe I have to explain some of this a little more? Or did you, like in the edit, did you have like scenes coming back into the film? Did you make many of those choices?
No, at a certain point I had an alien. That's the only thing that you understand. I cut
coming
it out.
from outer space?
Yes. So I cut that out. That's nobody did it. Yeah.
You know the filmmaker from Thailand, Apichatpong Verasetakul, in his last film Memoria.
I didn't watch
there's
it.
At some point there's
an alien coming. Yeah.
Great, but why did you cut it out? It would be great with an alien, no?
I don't know. I thought maybe that was a bit too much.
Did you
I'm
shoot
happy.
it and was it finished?
Yeah, it was an alien drinking tea. But anyway, it was wrong. Like I felt it was too much. Like no, it was not okay. I'm very happy with editing now. No, but regarding explanation no, I always feel very bored when there is explanation. I trust more than trust myself. I really trust the audience. I mean, it's. Of course, you know, even with this tone, I don't. Also, the need not to be too realistic. I have the feeling that even like not having this realistic tone, maybe it can even become more human. And when something is human, it's empathy. You can understand it, no? Because we're all human, so we can understand. And so I completely trust the audience and so no, I never felt this need. But no. I was thinking.
Just checking if there's someone who wants to ask something. No, I know there's more screenings of Amanda
tonight
at the festival. Tonight there's one.
Yes, at 7.
Are you going to be there for the Q&A?
Yes, I mean I'm always there. I just don't stay in the room,
right?
Because it's supposed to be funny sometimes. So if I don't hear anyone laughing, I feel bad. So I'd rather not stay there.
Okay.
I just wait outside.
But I know that the audience here in Tromsø are really adventurous, and it's one of those festivals, you know, where there's some industry people,
but
there's
also
some
the
filmmakers,
take part.
but the cinemas here are filled up with so-called normal people that actually just want to see great movies, and that's it's really fantastic. So I wish
and my theater was amazing. I don't know the name.
Verdensteatret.
Yes, it was great.
Such a beautiful. It's very old.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the silent era, actually.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's fantastic to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me, guys.
This is your first film.
Yes.
Now we hope you want to come back again with your next films. Whenever you have a new one,
I'm sure
they're going to invite you back. And if you come back, I hope you have you back on the stage and talk more.
I hope.
So, and I know you're going to Sundance tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah. So good luck with whatever awaits you there. And,
yes.
And welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Okay, some applause for Carolina.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.